This Nations League and EFL picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with the promo code PLGP to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And make sure to enter the free roll football contest, up to $3,500 in prizes up for grabs. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/free roll to enter today. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Wednesday, September the 4th. We are here to pick over the Nations League games, international break for this weekend, and the AFL running as well. Joining me from somewhere in Nottinghamshire is Mr. Barry Benaluna. Barry, you might have noticed, the chat's noticed, I got some Gregory Pecks. I mean, what do you think about that?
They look too big for your head. Who saw they? Have they come? Are they the lad who left them on the bar? Is that what these glasses are?
I didn't even think of that until the chat started on me a minute ago.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that tonight.
I had to go for a test, didn't I, on Saturday, and apparently I can have 20/20 vision, but it's just old age, the woman said, but a deterioration. So I need them for reading, but I'm not reading. I only got them today, and I've been out at football with a band tonight. So I'm not really sure what to do. If you notice, I'm rocking backwards and forwards like a madman. If I sit back here, I can't see anything. But if I come here, you're as clear as a bell, Barry. So I'm not sure if I'm meant to have them on or not. They're like for reading and laptop and stuff. So I've just done the baseball show without them on, and now I'm doing this show with them on. Plus, I also knew you dickheads in the chat would enjoy taking the piss a little bit. So I'm going to give them a go with them on. They might be lucky as well, but
funnily enough, there was a clip.
There you go.
Today. There was a clip today from Mika Richards talking about how when he played football, he was blind as a bat. But he just learned to play football, like not being able to see properly. He's saying, like, I could just see blurred stuff in the distance, but I worked out how to, like, play like that. He says, and then, like, I think it was Gary Lineker was, why didn't you wear contact lenses? He says, well, I put contact lenses in. He says, but then I could just see too well, and I didn't like it because that wasn't what I was used to. So I just took them out and just carried on playing blind. That's bizarre, isn't it?
Imagine that. What I am going to do,
seeing too well is not a good thing,
is give them to someone in the pub to look after while I go across the road and purchase some jammy Dodgers. That's what I'm going to do. Patrick, Hortney blaming Patrick for calling me Four Eyes in the chat. Well done. Andy was first in. Andy coached our boys to a 3-0 defeat tonight, so well done to him. Harry, Chelsea, do not look like a librarian. Crewe's in. Lee, everyone's enjoying Alison Hammond's Wide World of Dogs on ITV. At the moment, who else is here? I think that's it for the moment. If you're kicking around in the chat, by all means, say hello. So this week, no, there's been no football since we talked on Monday night.
I'm wondering, do the 13 people that are sat here in the chat at the moment realise there's nothing to talk about here?
Other than your guesses. Well, I've got some stories. Well, they're not stories. I've got some things to say out loud. Well, let's put it that way. That's all I'm claiming.
Don't build it up too much.
Yeah, exactly. Bull's joined us, and Michael. Boys, how we doing? Nations League. And then I spent ages doing the Nations League this afternoon. Some right old shit. Messaged you to tell you what I'd done. And you said, oh, I'll just do the EFL. I'd completely forgot there was EFL. So I probably would have just done that. I've got them all four corners of the globe, Barry, for my picks. And really, I could have just hung around, done the EFL. So I've got 1, 2, We need to work this out, Barry. Let's get a system good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 international picks, and that's it. What have you got?
I've got one international pick, and I couldn't be arsed with it anymore. I couldn't get into that. It started to make me head hurt. So I realised there was EFL stuff. So I've got 4 picks, 2 from League One, 2 from League Two. And I've just went for the England game in the internationals. Everything else just hurt me head.
Right, fair enough. But we can let it breathe a little bit, Baz. We've got time. Things I want to tell you about. Firstly, is I think you might be aware, I might not have told you, one of my favourite things in domestic life, Barry, ever, doesn't happen very often, is when you've got 2 margarines open at the same time. Fucking love it. It's a classic, isn't it? It's an absolute classic of the genre. Hasn't happened for years. It sends me crazy. But a bit of an upgrade here, Baz. This might be Tory Scran, I'm not sure. In the fridge currently, Baz, we've got 2 custards open. Oof. Don't say that, do you? Imagine that. Yeah, your face told a million words there, Barry. 2 custards open in the fridge there. So I enjoyed that a lot. It's not 2 margarines, but you can't have everything. 2 custards open. Strong opinions on that?
Funnily enough, we had 1 open, and it was from 2 days ago. I've just chucked it in the bin not long ago. So it's been sat on the bench for 2 days. Didn't even put it back in the fridge.
Not in the fridge?
Probably just
like
monkey.
Carton or a tin?
Carton.
Ooh, interesting.
Funnily enough, I went to the shops. Went to the shops for the custard the other day. So there is a bit of a Tory Scran link to this, because I was instructed to go to the shop for custard, but I was told I had to go and get the posh deluxe Madagascan vanilla custard, and the shop didn't have any, so we got a carton of Bird's custard. That was it. But we did try and get the deluxe version, obviously.
I knew a chef whose custard recipe was half homemade custard and half shop-bought custard. That was the only way he would prepare custard. He was a good chef as well, being on MasterChef and stuff. And also, he would only use Madagascan vanilla. And I just thought, fucking come on. Has anyone ever sent their custard back and said, whoa, Jeff, I'm not having that. That's not Madagascan vanilla. I just think it's a little bit much, innit? But half custard...
Isn't all vanilla Madagascan? I thought that was just their thing.
I doubt it. You can get vanilla anywhere. I harvested some bay leaves this afternoon, and I gave bay leaves out to the mums at football tonight, Baz. Little packets of bay leaves. That's Tory, isn't it? Oh, dear me, Tory. So that is definitely a Tory Scran update. I've also got 2 little van things to tell you, Barry. I can't believe I forgot to tell you this last week. I picked up a hitchhiker last Wednesday. You know I like doing this. Some of my favourite stories.
I know. You're the only person there's 2 things. You're the only person I know who ever sees a hitchhiker, and you're the only person I know who's ever picked up a hitchhiker. You just don't see them.
I was saying to one of my mates last week, I don't think I've seen one since COVID. COVID was the death of hitchhiking. But if you remember, I picked up that bloke once who literally just got out of prison that morning. By the side, he looked a bit bedraggled, and it was raining, so I stopped and picked him up. But he'd literally got out of prison about an hour before. So I took him near York. But anyway, last week in Middlesbrough, or by the A19, I saw a lassie with a North thing. So I stopped and let her in. And she was Spanish. She was called Astrid, Baz. And she was an artist, like an actual bona fide artist who was just pissing about the place, really, doing the art. You know me, Baz. I'm a big sucker for the arts. So we had a lovely chat, me and Astrid, on the way back. I showed her the Angel of the North. I showed her Hadrian's Wall. And then I let her out at Wester Hope McDonald's, and that was that. But if you want to have a look at her artwork, Barry, so her name's Astrid. So put a DIS on the front. It's Disastrid's Drawings. That's where you want to look on the gram. Get on the gram and have a look at Disastrid. And Disastrid was fun. We had a lovely time last week. I went back and checked about 3 hours later that she wasn't still stuck there. Because when I dropped that Japanese fella off, he was there for about 7 hours. And I went back and I had to get him. I had to pick him up again. He said, can you drop me off at Leeds? I said, no, I can't. I'll drop me off at the backpackers hostel in town. So that was that. And then the other bit, this is more van-related chat, Barry. Because I've got a van, right? People, and I do mind, because I'm on the lazy spectrum. People like to ask you to do things in the van for them. But people think, because I don't...
What did Astrid ask you to do?
Astrid didn't ask me to do anything in the van. She put her backpack in the back. But people think, like, if I'm only asking once a year or once every couple of years, it's not so bad. But when you know a lot of people, if everyone asks you once a year, you're fucking never in the house. Like, so I've said, like, people like Tigers use it. People have got a 5-year voucher. You can use the van once every 5 years. Like Matty Glover had us pick a pool table up in Whitley Bay last month. My sister's always, can you go and get me a table from Wide Open? The IT department loves sending me out and about. But this week, Steve the Pirate, my mate, and I didn't mind doing it. It's just the way he went about it, Baz, is what I want to point out. The last WhatsApp I got off Steve the Pirate was 4th of February 2023, right? So we're in September 2024. So we're a solid 19, 20 months later. And this is what makes me laugh. He didn't just ask me if he could use the van. Now, Google exists, Gumtree, the Yellow Pages. Hello, mate. You don't know anyone or the cheapest place to rent a van on Saturday morning? Fucking, like, why are you asking me? You could have Googled that, couldn't you? I bet you, like, if you want to Google the cheapest kitchen tiles in Nottingham, you would have Googled it, Baz. You wouldn't have asked me. Steve the Pirate, the cheeky bastard. So, as an upshot, I'm helping Steve the Pirate move house on Saturday morning just because he wanted to know the cheapest place to rent a van. And he thought about messaging me, Barry, to point him in the right direction. It's an absolute liberty. I'm on the lazy spectrum. I don't like doing it. So that's his 5-year voucher used up. What do you make of that, Pat?
I mean, it was very fortunate that he contacted you, not knowing you had a van. You know what I mean? Not realising you had a van. He'd probably forgot about that because he hasn't spoken to you for so long. So yeah, he's done all right out of that. Sounds like a fun morning.
Pete's picks. He's teasing us in the chat here. He's got a bet for us tomorrow. Don't know what it is. He's going to dish it out. I imagine it's on the GGs. So give us that, Pete. And right, we'll make some picks now. Have you got any silliness to get to, Barry?
No, I think you've done enough silliness for
one. The silliness.
You've covered it.
Like I said, it was 3 stories, literally about nothing. But it's filled in a solid 8 minutes of the show.
It's becoming a bit of a feature, the stories about nothing.
Stories about nothing. That could be that's the name of my autobiography or my second album. One or the other, or both, why not? NFL's back tomorrow, which is exciting. Ryan and Sean have picking every game against the spread like they've done since 2011. So go across and listen to the pick show. I think the pick show is out tomorrow, but I listened to the DFS show. That was fun. And the free roll football contest is live, up to $3,500 in cash. Signed up at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/free roll. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/free roll. Right, Barry. Serial. Evening. How you doing? Where do you want to start? Because this is a no chronological, because I can't do all the internationals, then stop, and then you do all the AFL. Or can we do that? This is it. None of this is in any order, Barry. Do you have any suggestions?
I have no idea. You can just crack on with your international stuff, and I'll tell you if I like it or if I don't like it.
All right, okay, we'll do that.
The England game.
We'll do a show of 2 halves. So if you want to not listen to this bit, it would make it easier for people to whiz through. I think you said you'd done some England game though, didn't you, Baz?
I've got a pick for the England game, and then I've got League 1 and 2. I'm happy to do that at the end. Fairly brief reports for the League 1 and League 2 from me as well, so I won't go on too long.
No bother. I've got Pete's pick. I'll put it up on the screen here, and I'll shout it out for anyone who's listening later. Sky Bet, horse racing specials. It's a Ryan Moore double tomorrow. Dissident and Tabitha both to win at 7-2. So 3.5 to 1. Little price boost double there for Ryan Moore. That's nice because we need a little pot builder for the NFL tomorrow night. So I'm all over that, Pete. Thank you very much. England play on Saturday night at 5 o'clock. This is Nations League Group B because England got relegated. Nobody knows how this tournament works. Republic of Ireland are 21-4 plus 525. The draw is 31-10 plus 310. England are 1-2 minus 200. I'll start with the Republic of Ireland being the home team. Their form is incredibly underwhelming. They're on a real down part of the cycle. Republic. They occasionally have had the odd decent team and been competitive. They haven't got very many good players, Baz. Home and against Hungary in the friendly, one of Hungary's pre-Euro 2024 friendlies, is Ireland's only real piece of form lately. And they never score, never. They're slightly more competitive at home. England are regrouping after the Euro final defeat. This is the dawn of the Lee Carsley era, the caretaker manager. Is he caretaker? Is he interim? Do we know that? Better off. I think England will be better off getting promoted back to League A, however that works, or whatever it is. So they will be trying. It looks very dour, this, Barry. It's not a very exciting game at all. But I think England defended largely quite well in part, and they did get involved. These dog shit games are what England were good at. Will happily get involved in a dour scrap. I think England will win, and I think they can stop Ireland from scoring. England to win with both teams to score no is 6-5 plus 120, but
is that just England to win to nil, just to shorten the amount of words for your pick? That would be easier, wouldn't it?
Yes, Barry, that's what it was. It's sometimes I think the American and Canadian listeners prefer that. I've had people message me and say, "What does win to nil mean?" So, so I'm just arms across the sea, Barry.
Yeah, fair enough. So I'm quite boyish about England here for the first time in a while because I went right off them during the Euros, didn't I? I'll probably watch. I very rarely used to watch any of this non-tournament stuff, but I will this weekend. I'm keen to see how Carsley approaches it. He's been quite bold in some of his selections in terms of his squad. Made a good few changes, shown a bit of faith in some of the younger players who he's worked with before. So there's a few surprise names in there. Some of the younger ones like Harry Maguire back in. That's a good one. I think for me, I think Carsley's definitely auditioning for the job. I think he's got a good chance if he does well enough of keeping the job. The only way that happens is if he avoids any slip-ups, because that would cost him straight away. And I think he probably needs to show a little bit more of an attacking style. He needs to let the reins off a little bit if he's got any chance, because the fans aren't going to support him getting the job if he doesn't show a little bit more entertaining football than Southgate did. There are a few absences. Palmer, Foden and Watkins have all withdrawn with those early season injuries during international breaks that always crop up. No doubt they'll be back playing for their clubs next week. But there's enough of a squad yet to get past Ireland. As you say, they're not very good. Other than that win against Hungary, the only team they've beaten in the last 12 months is Gibraltar. Gibraltar aren't very good. That's not very good form. So I think I'm going to take England, and I'm going to do something that they've shown no sign of doing for a long time. They haven't done this for 8 games in a row, and that's win on the handicap. England to win by 2 or more. That's 7-5 is the pick. And if you wanted to be a bit safer, you can take England -1 on the Asian handicap. So a 1-goal win would get you a push. That's around evens, but I'm just going to take them on the handicap. England to win by 2 or more, 7-5.
You're right. Carsley might as well take the handbrake off. There's no point not, do you know what I mean? Talking about not taking the handbrake off, I can't believe we haven't mentioned Steve Bruce, Baz. Steve Bruce back in Blackpool. What an absolute fucking shyster of a man. Worse than Hitler. I feel sorry for Blackpool fans, but I hope he fails spectacularly, the absolute mong. Any thoughts on Steve Bruce, Baz?
He's a cabbage, isn't he? I don't know why anyone's still employing him. He'll get his payoff by Christmas, won't he? Probably.
Destroy and exit. Yeah, it's a classic Steve Bruce destroy and exit. Yeah, what a shame. Right, we'll move on. Underdog Fantasy gives you a chance to win 1,000 times your entry. NFL is back. There's tons of pick'em specials to get you started. You can use specials and boosts on all flexed entries. The one I like this weekend is the Adam Thielen higher yards, or maybe Jerome Ford rushing, if you want to get involved there. Our code is PLGP. You can claim a special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Underdogfantasy.com, promo code PLGP. Right, my next game is, we're out of Group B and we're back into Group A. The game is on. It's a right shambles, this. Thursday, so tomorrow night. So we've got one for Thursday night here. 7:45 kick-off, Serbia against Spain. Serbia 11-2, big price at home. The draw 16-5 plus 320. Spain 1-2, minus 200. Serbia underwhelmed a little bit in the Euros. Lost 1-0 to England, drew with Denmark, drew with Slovenia. Spain won pretty comfortably, as it turns out, in all honesty. But Baz, all the data for this is for goals. Both teams to score is a huge price, 11-10, plus 110. Spain conceded in the last 4 games at the Euros. Spain have scored in 21 of the last 23 away games, 18 of 19 games all told, and they've scored in the last 12 Nations League games. Serbia have scored in 16 of the last 18 home matches and conceded in 14 of those. Ticks and boxes everywhere for both teams to score, Baz. 11-10 plus 110.
Nice. Sounds good. Like it. Move on. To you again.
Oh, right. Okay, I keep forgetting you've got now to say, have you? Oh, stressing me out, this. Right. Next, we are still in... Yeah, with more Thursday night action. We're still in Group A here. League A, what's it called? League A. Portugal against Croatia. Portugal 2-1 on, minus 200. The draw 3-1. Croatia are 11-2. In fact, I was going to get you to guess those prices, Baz. Because do you think Portugal and Croatia are 1-2 and 11-2 apart? That's like, I mean, how would a similar game be priced up in the Premier League? Like, they're two similar teams, aren't they? This is like Villa v Spurs or something, isn't it?
I'd agree with that.
Well, yeah. I just don't think their prices reflect the ability of these teams. Portugal finished the Euros with a 2-0 defeat to Georgia, then 0-0 v Slovenia, won on pens, 0-0 v France, lost on pens. They're bang average. Croatia are fairly similar. 1-1 v Italy, where they got chinned by the injury time goal. 2-2 v Albania, they got humped off Spain. Croatia lost in the semi-final of the Nations League last time around on penalties to Spain. They won in France and Austria on that little run. But my point is, the prices are just far too far apart. I might be missing something, but I don't know. Croatia 11-2 is the pick, but they're big enough that you can have a go on the double chance. Like they're 11-8 plus 137 if you're a fanny and you don't want to take the big price. So Croatia 11-2 or 11-8 on the double chance away at Portugal. Baz, anything on that?
Yes. It's like the sound of a big dog. Always like a big dog going out there. Right. I agree. 11-2 sounds. If I'd looked at that game, that would have caught my eye. If I could have been bothered to look at any international stuff, I would have probably looked at Croatia 11-2. I agree.
There you go. A hugely enthusiastic cosign there from Baz. Back into Group B on Friday, League B on Friday night, 7:45, Slovenia taking on Austria. Slovenia 12-5 plus 240, the draw 23-10, and Austria 15-13 plus 115. The pick here is Austria on the money line. Just think they're a little bit better than Slovenia. Again, we saw them both in the Euro. Slovenia did all right in the end. Who did they get knocked out by? They made it out the group, didn't they, Slovenia? Austria are coming down into League B here. They've been relegated the same as England. Slovenia are actually going up from League C. So these two teams were 2 leagues apart here. Austria have got a 3-game winning streak over Slovenia, and they were better in the Euros. Austria's Nations League record isn't very good, but this is their level. I don't think they are one of those tier 1 teams. This is very much their level. Harry likes the draw, but I'm going to take Austria here. I do think they were a better team. Next up, we're changing competition, Barry. We are out of the Nations League. We are into South American qualifying for a game on Saturday night, 2:30 in the morning. So a nice friendly time of 9:30 Eastern time for our American and Canadians. The game is Peru against Colombia, Baz, where Peru are 17-4. Stop laughing, Barry. This is serious. 4 plus 425 for Peru. 13-5 plus 260 the draw. Colombia 7-10 minus 142. Colombia are in a really good place at the moment. They're competing very hard with Brazil and Argentina, who normally separate themselves from the rest of that section. Colombia are up there to the point where Colombia have separated themselves from the section below. They're almost in a sort of a 1B. Teams like Uruguay, who are normally half decent. Colombia drew 1-1 with Brazil in the Copa America, and they went out in extra time to Argentina. Or was that the final or the semi-final? Anyone remember?
You're asking
Serial, you should know. Come on, you're that side of the ocean. But anyway, the Argentinians beat them in extra time in there. And Peru absolutely suck hard at the moment. 2 draws and 4 defeats so far in World Cup qualifying. The bottom of the league in that South American section with those 2 points. They didn't score a goal in the Copa America at all. So this is a little bit short, Baz, but I love it. Just take Colombia. 7-10, minus 142 on the money line. And Barry, we're going to head to a third competition. Now, competitions, I need to find it. We're going to go... hang on. It's so far down the list. Internationals. African Cup of Nations qualifying is where we're going, Barry. And you'll know very well why I've gone to this game. It's because we have 100% record handicapping Eswatini on the show so far, Barry. So the game is on. I was trying to get stuck right into Sudan as it happens, but I missed out on that one. This is Thursday, 5 o'clock, so nice and early. Tea time tomorrow. Guinea-Bissau taking on Eswatini. Although Eswatini this week on Bet365 are called Swaziland. They're back to their old name. So I don't know what the crack is there. I tried to research that, but I didn't really get any further. So take your pick, Eswatini or Swaziland. Guinea-Bissau are 3-5, minus 166. The draw is 23-10. And Swaziland are 19-4, plus 475. Guinea-Bissau 1-1 draw at home to Egypt last time. Done all right. Mama Balde, you might know he's going to play in the Champions League this year for Brest. He got the goal last time. Mo Salah got the equaliser. Luis Boamorte of Fulham X is their head coach. Eswatini have been rubbish. They played in the CASAFA tournament, which is like a second-tier AFCON for all those kind of emerging nations in July. Didn't score. 0-0 v Botswana and Mozambique. Got turned over 1-0 by South Africa. They've only scored once in 4 World Cup qualifiers. They squeezed into the main qualifying phase by beating Somalia. Now, Guinea-Bissau aren't in great form, but they don't have to be. They'll nick this and they'll do it with a clean sheet. Guinea-Bissau to win to 0, 6-5, plus 120. And if you want the correct score, Barry, it's Guinea-Bissau 2, Swaziland 0 is 5-1. International games done, Barry.
Nobody is listening to any of that. If anybody in here is back in Guinea-Bissau, I'll be amazed. Serial's asking why you didn't pick USA v Canada out of all the American games. Pochettino's first game.
We like to keep it sort of in the top class football in nation serial. Give us a pick for that, actually. Do you know what? I think I tried to look for that. I couldn't find the what competition is it CONCACAF qualifying or what? There was some Asian stuff, unless it's a friendly. No, CONCACAF Nations League. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Serial can tell us in the chat what his favourite pick is for the US.
US aren't even playing. No, it can't be CONCACAF. They're not playing anyway. Must be a friendly. So yeah, there's the international pick. Loads of winners there, Baz. That Guinea-Bissau pick nailed on. Look forward to that. 5 o'clock tomorrow. You can get into some domestic stuff after I've told you about Rhythm, getting everyone prepped for the start of football season. Rhythm is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform. Helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to use custom predictive stuff for spreads, totals, money lines, props, whatever you want. You can use one of their models, or you can you can design one of your own by weighting whatever you think is important. That's exciting. The Rhythm College football model had everyone on Colorado versus North Dakota State under 59.5 last week. Rhythm adores Guinea-Bissau to win 2-0 tomorrow. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And Game Time, the ticket people, the authorised ticket marketplace for Major League Baseball, takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. You got last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals. The Game Time guarantee credits you 110% of the difference if you can find the tickets in the same section elsewhere for cheaper. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code SGPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account, redeem the code SGPN for $20 off. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Right, Barry. 6 solid winners to follow up into the EFL. What have you got?
Right, so yeah, there is some EFL. Some games are postponed. No championship. There's 3 games in League One, and pretty much a full slate in League Two. I think there's 2 games postponed due to international break. But I've got 2 picks from each division. So we'll start off with League One, or League One, as they say in England. Charlton v Rotherham. Charlton 5-4. Plus 125. The draw is 12-5 plus 240, and Rotherham 21-10 plus 210. Charlton started really well, 3 wins, 1 defeat, sitting in 6th place. Both teams to score no has hit in all 4 of their games, as has the under 2.5. And in fact, the last 7 games in all competitions for Charlton have finished 1-0 or 2-0, one way or the other. Which is a pretty good record. Rotherham, on the other hand, they're 4 points down at the bottom end of the table. 1 win, 1 draw, 2 defeats. 3 of their 4 games have finished under 2.5 goals as well. So combined 2, was it? I've got some stats written down here, but it's a shambles because it doesn't make any sense what I've wrote, so I'm not going to read it.
Okay, good. Do you want to borrow my specs, Pat?
I think I need to. Basically, the pick, Malcolm, is under 3.5. Just about every game involving these teams has had both teams to score no or unders. I think 7 of the 8 games involving the 2 teams have gone under 2.5 goals. So a little short price, 3-4. Is Charlton Rotherham under 2.5 goals as their first pick in League One. And then in the same division, I've got Wrexham v Shrewsbury. Wrexham on 9-20. Can you convert that into American? It's around
-222, but
-222. There you go.
Andy, who's in the chat here, I saw earlier on, was desperate for you to cover this game, Barry. So I'm over the moon. You've picked it. Well done.
Yeah. So that's good. Let's see if he agrees with the pick. So yeah, Wrexham 9-20, 7-2 the draw plus 350, and 5-1 Shrewsbury. Another team here like Charlton with solid defensive credentials. Wrexham sitting 2nd in the league, 3 wins and a draw, conceded just twice, and they've had 3 straight clean sheets now. They've scored 8 in their 4 games. So really solid form coming into it, Wrexham. Looking like they'll make another good crack at promotion this season so far. Shrewsbury, on the other hand, have been struggling. They've lost they lost the first 3 in the league, scored just once in those first 3 games. They did come back with a 3-0 win at the weekend. That was against bottom of the league, Leyton Orient. So I'm not sure it'll be the start of any kind of resurgence for Shrewsbury. I think Wrexham are going to win this one. It's a short price for them to win the game. Wouldn't mind sticking them in an ACCA to win the game. But the one I like is to win 2-0, 6-4. As I say, they've just had 3 clean sheets in a row. And Shrewsbury aren't scoring many goals at all. 3 at the weekend, but beyond that, it was just 1 goal in the first 3. So I like Wrexham at 6-4 to win 2-0 against Shrewsbury. And that wraps up my League One picks. Let's see what Andy Williams has got over 2.5 goals for Wrexham. So So, and he likes Harry Doherty likes Wrexham -2. So, let's hope we're all on the right track and Shrewsbury don't get a goal.
It's been a great start for Wrexham. Like, I must admit, I talked them down a little bit in my preview that we did at the start of the season, but they've absolutely trapped out. Like, so if they can keep it going, very live, Baz.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's, as I say, there's been a bit of previous. There are teams who've done it before where they can, it's doable if you get that momentum to go up 2-3 times in a short space of time. So yeah, definitely in the hunt. Down into League Two then, and the first one for me in League Two is Crewe v Morecambe. Crewe are 9-10 favourites. 29-10 Morecambe plus 290 and 13-5 the draw plus 260. And I came to this one first because I've been in full fade mode of Morecambe so far this season and done very well doing so. I tipped them for relegation in our pre-season show, and they've started with 0 wins, 0 goals from 4 games, sitting rock bottom of the table. Now, Crewe aren't brilliant. Crewe aren't going particularly well. They sit on 4 points from their 4 games. They've only scored twice as well, Crewe. Both goals coming in a 2-1 win over Bromley. So they have failed to score on 3 occasions this season, which isn't great if you want to back Crewe here. But, I mean, low scoring because you've got 2 goals across 8 games with these 2 teams involved, just 2 goals all season. Both teams to score no, 4 out of 4 times for Morecambe, 3 out of 4 times for Crewe. So there's a few things I like. I like the unders at 8-11. I think it looks a good pick. Probably a better one at a slightly better price is the both teams to score no. So just one of these sides to keep a clean sheet. At 4-5 looks more appealing than the 8-11 for the unders. Because I don't see anyone winning a 3-0 or something. I'm talking garbage again. I do think Crewe will nick it, and that's where I've gone in the end. I think Crewe will nick this, being the home side against a Morecambe team who haven't scored a goal yet. Crewe at 9-10, I think, is a good price. I think they'll nick it in a tight one. I think Crewe will win 1-0 or 2-0. So I'm going to take Crewe to beat Morecambe as my main pick. I do like the unders. I like the both teams to score no, but Crewe will be the pick from that one. And finally, keeping it local, Notts County versus Accrington Stanley. Who are they?
Very good.
Notts County 13-20, which is what in American money?
Oh, fuck knows. That's complicated, that one, Baz.
We'll skip by that one. Accrington are 4-1, and the draw 16-5 plus 320. Notts County started really well, sitting in 7th at the moment. They're unbeaten. Started with a 0-0 draw, but have found their feet in front of goal since. They've scored 8 in the last 3 games. They've won the last 2 in a row now. So yeah, Notts County look to be getting a bit of momentum and getting back to goals, which is what they were good at early part of last season. And the season before that, Accrington sit 3rd from bottom, 4 games in, no wins. They've got just 2 points, picked up a couple of draws, and they've been shipping goals for fun. Accrington have conceded 11 in 4 games now. If you add in the 2 cup games, they've conceded 18 goals in 6 games. They've conceded at least 3 goals in 5 of those 6 games now. And that's where I'm going. I'm going for Notts County at home to get a few goals. Notts County, again, they're a team that aren't a bad price to stick in your rackers. I think it's 13-20. Notts County to win this. Looks all right. But I am going for Notts County team total over 2.5 goals at 6-4. Notts have hit 3 on a couple of occasions already this season. And as I say, Accrington have conceded 3 on 5 of their 6 games. So Notts County team total over 2.5 goals at 6-4 is my final pick down in League Two.
Nice, Baz. Lovely work. A little bit of everything. Yeah, I think we're just about done then, aren't we? I'm just looking at one thing. We haven't mentioned the Leicester pulling the Premier League's pants down with the old points deduction. I'm just looking at the prices to finish bottom now. All right, yeah. So we gave out Southampton on Sunday, Baz, on Monday, at 9-2 to finish bottom. Leicester facing that points deduction, and it's now 9-4 joints. Leicester were odds on 4-6 to finish bottom. Now all the way out to 9-4. So instant value on Southampton to finish bottom on the grounds of that. I mean, that was just funny. Like, it's got to infuriate Everton and Forest and people like that. But Leicester have basically just proven to the Premier League that the rules are absolute dog shit, and they can't enforce anything. So, yeah.
I mean, I was just talking about this in a chat earlier. The Premier League just seemed to have made a complete mess of all this financial fair play stuff now, and it's all unraveling. I don't think there was any intention for them to be settling, like last season where relegation battles were up in the air right till the end because we didn't know who'd have points and who wouldn't. You've then got Leicester, who they can't punish because they got relegated during the accounting period. And then today, they've basically just rubber stamped Chelsea selling a hotel to themselves for £80 million to get them out of it as well. And it just shows there are clearly holes all over the rules around FFP. So why don't we just fucking bin it off? Because what's the point? Absolutely ridiculous.
It's dog shit. Steve saying the Southampton forward line's got urinal cake IQ. My dad ate a urinal cake once, Barry, by accident. Have I told this story? It's a good one.
Not fresh out of urinal, surely.
No. We went to the pictures, Baz. I think the year was 1987, and I believe we were singing Who Framed Roger Rabbit, family trip out. Anyway, there were some naughty kids sitting behind us, just chucking stuff, and this thing landed in my mother's lap. So, obviously, my dad's in charge of discipline. So my mother passed it to my sister. She gave it to me. I gave it to my dad. And like, you're a bloke, you've just been handed something in the cinema. He just thought it was some sweet of some description, shoves it straight in his mouth, and it was a urinal cake. Absolutely outstanding scenes in the cinema. So yeah, that was fun. Smashing. Baz, anything else to talk about before we go? We've covered some ground here. Bear in mind we had nothing to talk about 43 minutes ago.
Yeah, we have covered some ground. I'd be interested to see how this all turns out on Saturday evening.
No one cares. Right, well, good luck, everyone, with whatever the hell that was. We'll be back. The problem we've got, Baz, we've got to do more of this on Monday or whatever the hell it is. So, anyway, we'll make some more stories. So people don't need to know. We'll just, they don't have to be true, Baz. We'll think of something. Thanks, everyone. The chat was proper funny tonight. Even before we started, while Baz was walloping the Christmas party fun through the roof, the chat was making me laugh a lot. Proper funny crew. Yeah, good luck with your picks. We'll be back probably Monday. Who knows? Might do Sunday night, but I doubt it. Full of beer watching the NFL. But until whenever, we will see you all down the road. Cheers.